Alright, hello and welcome back everyone. In this video we're going to add in some enemy fire from our enemy alien here. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so if you go to Schoology, you'll see that there is now an enemy projectile ping. Really simple, really small. If you want to make your own using Krita, by all means go ahead and do it. This is a 20 by 20 pixel PNG file, and this will work, and then you can make your own if you want, but you can go ahead and right mouse click, save image as, and you can save it to your sprites folder. Okay, so once you've got it downloaded, I'm going to call this one enemy projectile. Choose the image, and there we go. It looks really teeny tiny, but it actually works out pretty well. Okay, so again, let's check collision. You would think a circle would be best, so let's go ahead and try that. We're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, we'll keep, so okay, 16, oh, the radius, yes. Alright, so this radius should be, I'm going to make it 8. And there we go. Okay, so I decided on a radius of 10. That makes total sense since we know that the projectile is 20 by 20 pixels, so a radius of half of that 10 would be perfect. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, this is a sensor. Again, I still don't know why Stencil has to think about these choices, but there we go. Okay, so it's a sensor, which just means that it's not a solid object, and so it will react physically a little bit different. Okay, so under physics, it cannot rotate and it is not affected by gravity. And for properties, we're going to go ahead and choose edit groups, and we're going to make a new one. So this one's going to be enemy projectiles, and that's our new group. And it's going to be able to hit players and actors, and I think that's it. Okay, let's just double check. Players. Okay, so everything should be set. Click on OK, and make sure you change your actor to the correct group. Okay, save game. And I think we're pretty good there. Okay, so now let's actually have the alien spawn the projectile. So let's go to events. Let's add an event, basic, and we're going to do when created. You don't want to do when updating. If you do when updating, it will put out a constant stream of enemy fire, which might sound cool, but it will actually lag and then freeze your game almost instantly. You want to do when created. So when the game is created, you want to go to flow, you want to go to time, and we want a do every blank seconds. So now we can tell it to spawn the enemy laser every certain seconds. And I'm going to go ahead and just start off with 3 seconds. And then I'm going to come up here and type in create, and we want this red one here. Create actor type, and we'll choose our actor type, and that's enemy projectile. And we'll go ahead and we'll say, at the X, we'll say X of actor. And then this is going to be a Y of actor. And actually we're going to change it to self and self. Okay. And now we need it to actually push downward. So let's go over here to and type in set speed. Okay, so here we go. Set speed. And put it down here. And we're going to change it to the Y speed, so it's going up and down. And remember that stencil is kind of backwards from what you maybe learned in math. So you think it's a negative number to go downward, but it's actually positive. And I'm going to go ahead and just type in positive 10. And instead of for self, I'm going to choose last created actor because that's going to be the enemy projectile. Okay, go ahead and save and give it a shot. Okay, so there we are, and I have to avoid the asteroids. Okay, so they could move a little faster, and maybe they can't collide with them yet. But they're coming down. I might want to put a randomizer in there so they're all shooting at a different speed. That would be nice. Maybe make them a little bit faster, and maybe change the time a little bit. But it's working, so that's cool. Okay. Okay, so instead of do every 3 seconds where the player could guess, I'm going to come here and click on the little downward arrow. I'm going to go to math, and I'm going to choose random integer between blank and blank. So now I'm going to choose maybe between every 1 second and every, I don't know, we'll try 8 seconds and we'll see how that feels. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and change the speed, so maybe some will go fast and some will go slow, so that's kind of cool. So I put in another random integer, and I'll put in maybe 8 and 20, and save that. Okay, so you can see that it's randomized now. I can tweak the speed of it and everything. The only downside is that it's not quite coming from the center of the aliens, it's coming from kind of the left-hand side of the aliens. So the way to fix that and nudge that over is right here on the X. So what you can do is bring the block out, click on the little downward arrow and go to math and choose the very first one here. So it's blank plus blank. And then drag the blue block back up there. And then now here you do a little bit of trial and error and you type in a number. So I'll maybe go ahead and type in 8. So that's going to be 8 pixels. Okay, so we're back, and all right, it's not bad. It needs to move further over to the right, so instead of 8 pixels, I'll choose a little bit bigger number, maybe 10 or 12. But I'm going to go ahead and move on so you don't get too bored. Okay, and I'm going to make that 12 pixels. There we go. Okay, so now I need to set up the collisions with the player. And for this example, I'm going to go ahead and just set up a one-hit kill. If you want to set up player health, you can watch the tutorial on giving the asteroid health, and that should then be able to do it for you. All right, so I'm going to go to my dashboard and open up my player ship. I'm going to go to Events, Collisions, and I'll go ahead and do, I'll try this actor of type. And so I'll say when self hits actor type enemy projectile, kill self. Okay, so I don't have it creating an explosion, but I could put that in there. So really easily, I'll come up to this previous one that I did. I'll go ahead and simply right mouse click on the red block, choose copy, come over here, right mouse click, paste it. Oh, it brought in everything. Okay, that's kind of cool. And just put it up there, and there we go. Yeah, that should work. Okay, good. Okay, so to finish up with this tutorial now, I've got the ships shooting, or the enemy ship shooting. So now I'm going to go ahead and give them a little bit of movement. And actually, we're not going to code this one from scratch. We're going to use a pre-made behavior. So let's go to the Behaviors tab for once, and let's go to Add Behavior, and we're going to go to Motion, and we're going to choose back and forth horizontally. The speed, again, all of these you're going to pretty much just try. I'm going to show you what worked for me. Okay, so I'm going to put the speed in half. I want the initial direction to be right, so they start moving to the right. And distance left and right, this is how many pixels they're going to move. And I happen to know that 100 is way too much. because my screen on my game is not that wide. So I'm going to go ahead and try 20. Now, this little checkbox means that if they hit each other, so if alien 1 hits alien 2, they're going to change direction and move, which could be kind of interesting. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck that just for now. And again, I put this behavior on my enemy alien, so you don't have to add it to the scene or anything. If you want to see how this code was actually built, you can actually click on Edit Behavior here. It will actually open up the behavior. And you'll see that the behavior consists of 4 events and a lot of attributes. And these attributes here that somebody made is what allows us to actually dial in the numbers here. So it's really just a convenience thing. You don't have to do that. But you can go ahead and look at these and basically try to decipher and translate this code and kind of figure it out. But that's a pretty fair amount, and so we're going to use the behavior instead of coding it from scratch. So okay, let's take a look at it. Okay, so now they're moving. That's pretty cool, and I think the numbers that I chose are working out pretty well. And now they're firing, and if I get hit, explosion, and there we go. Something's going on with this left alien here. He's kind of moving at a different speed than everybody else. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial. In the next one, I'm going to show you how you can shoot the aliens, and when you destroy all 3 of them, you then get some "you win" text that pops up on the screen. So I'll see you in the next video.